Hi, I'm Rachel and welcome to It's Your Move. Hello and welcome to the It's Your Move session, a session designed to help you get ready for your big move to secondary school. In this session, we hope we're going to have loads of fun together. There's going to be some activities, there's going to be some games, some questions, some time to think through things and a story. But first of all, I want you to think about this question. How are you feeling about your move to secondary school? And I want to give yourself a score. So I'm going to give you a scale. So 10 is up here. 10 is where you're feeling excited, you can't wait, and you're feeling pretty confident about your move to secondary school. Number 1 is down here where you're feeling anxious, worried, and you're not so sure about the move. Where on that scale would you put yourself, number 1 to 10? Choose your score now. I wonder which score you gave yourself. Maybe it was a 7 or a 5 or maybe a 3 or even a 1. It doesn't matter where on the scale you put yourself, your feelings are important and that's how you feel. Some of you are going to be feeling a lot more confident about moving up to secondary school. Perhaps you have an older brother or a sister there already, or maybe you're so lucky that you get to move with a big group of friends from your primary school. For others, you're a little bit more scared. Maybe you're the only one going from your school to secondary school. I want you to remember your score because you're going to need it later on in this session. I'm sure that everyone's got something that they're scared about. Maybe you're scared about the dark. For me, I'm scared of birds. I can't stand them. They flap around you, they look at you with their little eyes, and I'm sure they're always going to want to attack me. Now, if that fear grows, it can sometimes turn into a phobia. And we're going to play a game with you now about phobias. I'm going to name 3 phobias, and I'm going to give you 3 options for you to guess what those phobias might be. Are you ready? So the first phobia I've got for you is arachnophobia. Arachnophobia. What do you think that might be? Is it a fear of arches, a fear of coats, or a fear of spiders? What do you think? And the answer is fear of spiders. Now I think most people are scared of spiders. Here's a second one for you. Cyclophobia. Cyclophobia. Is that a fear of circuses, a fear of circles, or a fear of bicycles? What do you think? And the answer is a fear of bicycles. I didn't even know that. Now the third one I've got for you is a very long word and quite difficult to say, and I've had to write it down so that I get it right. So excuse me while I take a little look, okay? Are you ready? Sesquipadellophobia. Sesquipadellophobia. Now, is that a fear of trees, a fear of squids, or a fear of big, long words? What do you think? And the answer to that was, it's a fear of long words. Why would you give the fear of long words a really long word? Who knows? Now we're going to be looking a little bit more at worries in the session, and it's fine and natural for you to feel worried or a bit apprehensive about your move up to secondary school. We're now going to hear from 3 pupils who've been in the same situation as you moving up to secondary school. And they're going to share with you a bit about their fears and their worries, but also how those worries disappeared.
At first I was quite worried about making friends, but in the end it was fine because there were lots of activities that you could interact with others, and it was fine. That's how I made friends.
Moving into year 7 was a bit of a panic because we had to move around classrooms, but the teachers helped us by telling us where the classrooms were and what numbers they had on them.
I was most anxious about homework, but it did work out because the teachers didn't give us as much homework at the beginning of the year, so we got used to having homework. I would say the best way to make friends is to just go up to people and have a chat with them.
I think the best way to make friends at school is to do one of your school's clubs, like football club, and see if you can get paired up with the person you're trying to make friends with.
I think that the best way to make friends is just to be yourself and to not pretend to be something that you're not.
Now we're going to get some more top tips read out to you by some pupils from the brilliant book by Scripture Union called It's Your Move. Take a look at this.
Equipment. You'll likely have a set of things that you're expected to bring to school every day, like pens and books. The best thing that you can do is to write yourself a daily checklist. Pack your bag the night before, then double check it in the morning before you leave.
Rules. Your school will have its own set of rules that you are expected to follow, so find out what they are and stick to them.
Clubs. There will be plenty of clubs at your new school, either at lunchtime or after school. These will be your chance to play more sports, learn a musical instrument, or develop other interests. And this can be a great way to meet new people.
Be you. We are all unique for a reason. There is something you have to offer the world that no one else has. Work to improve yourself, but do it because you want to be the best version of you, not a copy of someone else.
Imagine you're one of Jesus' disciples. You're all gathered by the shores of Lake Galilee. The sun beats down, it's a hot and humid day. Flies buzz lazily round your head. You swat them away, but it doesn't seem to make any difference. Some of the disciples are laughing and joking around you, standing in the shallows of the lake and splashing each other. Smiling at his friends who are now soaked through, Jesus walks up to the boat. Let's cross over to the other side, he says. All people clamber in. The disciples in the water stop messing around and start to push the boat out before jumping in themselves. It's no less humid on the lake, and you let your hand drag in the cool water. Looking over the side, you can see the odd fish swimming here and there. The heat seems to have affected them too, they're swimming so slowly. Some of the disciples are still laughing about the water fight and trying to dry themselves off in the sun. You look up to the sky again. It's clear up above, but over in the distance, dark clouds are gathering. You point it out to the others. Some of them don't seem worried. Matthew laughs when you mention it, but then he used to be a tax collector, so what does he know about the lake? But the ones who have fished on this lake for years look worried. They point at the dark clouds, getting closer, and mutter amongst themselves. You turn to see what Jesus thinks, but he has stretched out at the back of the boat and fallen asleep. A breeze gets up, and suddenly the sun doesn't seem as hot. The boat begins to pitch a little, and a cup topples off a bench and onto the floor of the boat. Then wind fills the sails and the boat rocks more sharply. You have to hold onto the side to stop yourself from falling off your seat. Well, the fishermen look nervously up at the darkening sky and talk about what to do. The boat is now rolling quite violently and it's started to rain. Well, they rush about the boat, pulling on ropes and winding in sails and strapping down loose baggage. You notice that Jesus is still asleep. Well, you think about waking him, but the fishermen seem to be getting everything under control. Matthew, though, has started to panic. Well, suddenly, a huge wave hits the boat and water rushes over the side. You cling onto the side of the boat and desperately try to stop yourself from being swept overboard. Another wave breaks and Matthew is thrown against you. He grabs onto your arm to steady himself and almost causes both of you to fall into the water. He's screaming in your ear. In fact, everyone is screaming, including you. Well, this is it. You're all going to die. Well, somebody tries to wake up Jesus because he's still asleep. Well, Matthew rushes at him. Master, Master, we will drown, he shouts. Well, Jesus looks at him, gets up and simply tells the wind and the rain to stop. Suddenly, everything becomes calm. But you look at the others in the boat. You're confused. Well, they're confused. Who is this, someone says? Who is this that commands the wind and the water? And they obey him.
My faith has really helped me so that when I'm like worrying about homework or detentions, I just know that God is always with me and he can take care of all of that.
My faith has helped me because my family have been praying for me.
My faith has helped me because when I'm in my lessons, I know I'm not alone.